Well, a hearty good evening to you wherever you may be. We took a little lay off, but we're back. It's time for the Neal Show with special guest Chris. No, wait, no, that's not how that goes.
No, no, not at
It's
all.
it's ChampCast, Bubba's Big Broadcast, or
Let's talk some Southern gospel. How about
look, I
that?
know where's Neil.
And Chris is right there. I always have to put it in verse. You notice that? I have to
Yes,
go.
yes,
Anyway,
exactly. So,
yeah, we know there's a lot of folks probably at church tonight and right now, and so you may pick it up after the fact, but that's all right. We
yes,
still this was the time we could do it this week, so
yeah.
that's why we're doing it
And
this
I
week
don't know
at
if
this
we'll
time.
get, yeah, I don't know if we'll get the executive director's notes here in just a second, but if you could boost your microphone a little bit, I'm hearing me a whole lot more than I'm hearing you. So
All right, let me
I
just
don't know
go
if
do
there's
that.
anything you can do about that, but
I
we'll
believe
try it and
there
see.
is.
And we'll get notes
Hmm.
on it here in a minute if you're not loud enough or if I'm too loud and all that. So
Oh, I definitely will. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn it up right now. What is that like? Is that can you
that's
hear
a
me
little
better?
better. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, uh-huh. Let's just see how that works.
Yeah. But
All
we're
righty.
here to play some Southern gospel music and tell you about a big event that's coming not too far off in the future, less than a
That's
month away. Yes, it's true. We're in the same month. And that is our next Champion Brothers Bringing It Back concert at the Fayette Civic Center. After two singings at Vernon, we're back in Fayette for the
hmm
Fayette Civic Center concert on Saturday night, July 27th at 6 p.m. Our longtime favorites and friends, the Kingsmen, are coming in. I'm trying to turn my calendar. I just realized I hadn't flipped my calendar to July yet. I had to do that right quick. And
Okay.
a recent added attraction to it is Bob Sellers, formerly of the Kingsmen Quartet. Bob's going to be
Yeah.
joining us that night as well, and we're excited about that. And as always, Chosen Witness and Faithful Friends will be singing some too, and just looking forward to it. I was telling somebody about it last week, or actually, I was talking to somebody on the phone and telling them about it. And the person that was in the room with me, as soon as I said the Kingsmen are coming, they jumped and got big eyed and all that. And I said, "Yeah, man, you need to come too." So,
That's right. That's
so
right.
one of the most well-known names in Southern gospel music, certainly in the last 40 to 50 years, and we're honored that they are coming to Fayette, Alabama on Saturday night, July 27th. We'll open the doors at 5. It starts at 6. No admission charge whatsoever. You will have an opportunity to contribute, and we would appreciate you doing so, but you certainly don't have to. And looking so forward to that. We'll be talking a lot more about it in the next, 2 to 3 weeks. Today's the third. So we got what? It's 3 weeks from this
Yeah, but
Saturday. So, yep. We'll
yep,
be
that's
talking
right.
to you some more between now and then about it and a whole bunch of other stuff too. So go ahead and put that on your calendar and plan on being with us on July 27th. Couple of quick howdies right off the bat. Brad Shackelford says, "Evening, boys. Evening to Brad and our pal
Brad
Don Dollar over in Vernon. Good
and
evening,
Don.
guys. Good evening to Don. Appreciate you checking in with us. As always, if you are watching us live, we encourage you to hit that like and share button and uh, make a comment. Let us know that you're here or tell us something that you want to talk about, whatever the case might be. We always look for that feedback and appreciate it
That's
so
right.
much. So just kind of let us know what's going on with you and check in with us, and so we can acknowledge you. If you're watching it later, you can still do that. You can still like and comment and all that, and we'll see that later. Of course, look at here, old pal Joe Brown says he hopes to
Hey
see us at
Joe.
the Kingsman concert.
Oh,
Don
great.
Dollar
Yeah.
says Sound Street was outstanding. Yes, sir, they were. We had a fine time
Indeed.
back at 1st of June and at Vernon with Sound Street. And that was another one of those singings that the folks that came might not have been familiar with them, but they sure were by the time they left. The Vander
Absolutely.
Spices and Ryan Bilby just had a wonderful evening with them, and hopefully
Yes.
get them back in our area here before too much longer. Our
Yep.
pal John Kelly has checked in, as well as Lindsay Smith. More about John and the Kellys in just a little while.
Oh,
But
yes.
But the last time that we were on was right before the Sound Street Singing. I don't think, have we been on since then? I don't remember.
I don't think so. No, we've had some life happen, and yeah, we had several weeks off there, but
Yeah.
glad to be
But
back.
but when we were here, we had planned on playing some of these songs that we've got lined up tonight, but we just kind of took a hard left turn when Jared could hang out with us for a little while longer and decided to save it for this. But you titled this one, Some of Our Heroes, Mentors, and Friends. And that goes in. And so we got a decidedly local flavor on our show tonight. And these are all folks that we have sung with, and sometimes in the same group, sometimes in different groups, but have always looked up to, and couldn't ask for a better one to kick it off than Daddy.
That's right, man.
He's certainly the ultimate hero, mentor, and friend. So
that's right. Yeah, he always made he never once pushed either one of us or strongly encouraged even us to sing and to be part of gospel music and to do it. But he saw that we enjoyed it and that we wanted to, and he made the way. He made sure we were able to do it. And,
yeah.
And yeah, if I just want to hear a voice and want to watch somebody of how to sing a song, he's the man. I mean, there's a lot of greats over the years, but yeah, he was my number one. So we had to start with him for sure.
Yeah.
Joe Champion, and this was just one of the many that he sang, and I remember him saying one the Colombian Quartet sang a song that I guess the Nealans were who released this, and it was on radio nationwide. But the Colombian Quartet did a good cut on That Old Ship album, and yeah, just stand back and listen to a man sing a song. The sun's coming up in the morning.
Once again, I faced Satan this morning, and I battled him all the day long. And in my weakness, God sent reinforcements, and at sundown, I sang victory song, and the sun's coming up in the morning. Every tear will be gone from my eyes. This old gray's gonna give way to glory. And like an eagle, I'll take to the skies. In a world full of doubt and confusion, it's so hard when we don't understand, but I'll stand on a solid foundation, and I'll hold to an unchanging hand. And the sun's coming up in the morning. Every fear will be gone from my eyes. This old gray's gonna give way to glory, and like an eagle, I'll take to the sky. Like an eagle, I'll take to the sky, to the skies.
The Colombians, and off the album called That Old Ship's Gonna Sail Again. Our dad, Joe Champion, singing "The Sun's Coming Up" in the morning, along with Avon Russian, Don Shepard, and Ken Cook, bearing down on that tenor there. Attaboy, Ken. Mark
That's
Jones
right.
playing the piano, Neal playing the bass guitar, some little snotty-nosed redheaded kids playing the drums at about 12, 13 years old or so.
Hiding right there in that rust colored coat.
Yep, because we couldn't find a brown one that small.
Right.
Hard to believe I
That's
was that
right.
small at one time. And then right there between me and Mark is Wade Brown, the bus driver. So,
That's right. Yep.
and a fun fact, the negative is reversed on that. So everybody's hair, well, mine was parted straight down the middle, so it didn't matter. But Shepard just couldn't tell a difference. But if there was a part, it parted on the other side. So
Right. Right.
I still don't know how that happened, but it did. But that's all right. So
Yeah.
if you look at the
Somehow.
back of that
Anyway.
album, everybody's hair is parted on the other side. So
What do you say? Odd facts known by
odd
few.
facts known by a few. Now it's time for the bad joke of the. No, that's the radio.
No, that's another program. That's another program. Yeah. 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 Yeah, all these we're going to be talking about, we've talked about before, because when we first got this started, that's what we just started doing, is talking about our memories and our days growing up in Lamar County, Alabama, and the folks that encouraged us, and the folks that mentored us. And yeah, tonight I just wanted just to bring some of them to the top, and just play just them tonight. So,
Yeah.
we got anybody else you want to reach out to or point out or anything?
Well, some that we mentioned, but they also commented.
Yeah.
Lindsay Smith
Oh,
said, "Hey,
hey,
y'all.
Lindsay.
Hey to Lindsay." And John Kelly wanted to get his picture on the screen too. So
There you go. That's
Here's
right.
John.
That's right.
It says, "Hey, guys. Well, since we mentioned John, and we don't have
Yeah.
as many songs as we do tonight, so and it's our show, we can do whatever we want to.
That's
But
right.
let's go ahead and talk about. We told you about the Kingsman concert coming up on July 27th.
Yep.
And ignore the top one because I hadn't got this updated yet. But
Yeah, we've already done that one.
we've already done the June 1st, and then Saturday, July 27th. Then we're going to have two more before the year's out. We'll be back
right.
in Vernon, Alabama on Saturday, September 14th with our friends, the Kellys. Been a long time since we've sung with them. Looking so forward to seeing them. And sources close to me tell me we may have a few little unexpected surprises that night as well. So
You never know.
this is true. And then we'll wrap up our year with the Dixie Echoes. We've had them all 3 years that we have been doing these singings, and it has been in March the last 2 years. We're like, well, let's just move them to the end of the year. So the Dixie Echoes will be with us on Saturday, November 9th at 6 o'clock at the Fayette Civic Center. So go ahead and put those on your calendar, and hopefully you can come and be with us both in Fayette and in Vernon for the remainder of our season, I guess you could say. That's kind of how we've been doing this. This is our 3rd year of doing these, and so we just do that. Shay Guest checked in. Love the Kellys. Thank you, Shay. We saw Shay here just a few weeks ago. We did Faithful Friends did one of those quartet of quartets over in Bruce, Mississippi. Is that where we were? I don't know. But and Shay and Missy and all their folks were there, and 2 other groups. Of course, Donald Talent and the Masters Quartet were there, and we just had us a big time. So
I hear you. I'm sure you did.
It's fun how you go what seems like 10 or 15 years without seeing somebody, and then you see them twice in about a 3 or 4 month period, and it's like you never
left. Is odd. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Sarepta Baptist Church. That's where it was. So,
all right.
But anyway, it was always good to see them and talk with them and hear them and visit with them a little bit. Jason Porter checking in and saying hello. Hey Jason. Good to see you. And let me check the Dana Hester's checked in. Joel Bobo. Hey, Joel. Zach Stanley. I know our sister broadcast. I don't know if you can call it sister, brother, the young version, whatever, but Southern Gospel Forward. I know a lot of those folks are headed over to Inspiration Park. They've revived the Singing in the Smokies, and it's going on. And so I don't know. They're probably listening to that instead of dropping in on us, but appreciate that. And always good to team up with them in any way we can. I always get a little nervous when I want to, I see their Facebook post and all that. And I was like, well, I probably shouldn't comment. I'm too old for this bunch.
Well, last night they had a live stream on, and
Yeah.
Scott was talking to, or Pawpaw, I'm sorry, on that program. He's Pawpaw.
Yeah.
But he was talking about some T-shirts that they've got available, Southern Gospel Forward T-shirts, and you can definitely send them a message if you'd like to get one of those. But I commented and asked the question on there, said, "Can you wear a Southern Gospel Forward T-shirt if you're old as dirt?" And they said I could. So there you go.
All right. Hey, to Chase Emery checking in. I think that may be one of our SBM friends checking in with us too. So. And let's see, we don't get as deep into the sponsorships as they do, because I doubt we'll ever have a booth at NQC. But tonight's show is sponsored in part, if you'll raise up a little bit, Neal, by Mike Franklin Ministries.
Yes, Mike Franklin
and
Ministries.
The Fayette Aquatic Center. So.
Yeah. There's our
I didn't have time to put on a different shirt before I got on. So we had a fun day at the water park today, as we do every day. Or most days, I should say. It's one of those, as hot as it's been, it's like it's horrible for everybody, but it's great for the water park business. I'm telling you.
I can
folks been flocking in there. Philip Thornell checking in and says, "Are you older than dirt?"
He talking to you, Chris?
Well, you're the one that said it. So.
I know.
You're older than dirt.
Sometimes I feel like it.
You're older than dirt, and when I was a kid, the Dead Sea was just sick. So. But anyway, let's get back some music. You want to?
Let's do that. Some more of our mentors. We know that. We've talked about them numerous times. We'll talk about them more if we do more of these. But that was the Bryant Brothers Quartet.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pat, Mr. Floyd, Mr. Irby. At the time that we were around them, that was the three brothers. I know Mr. Fred Bryant, I think at one time sang with them. Yeah. But the three brothers that we really remember being around a lot and that encouraged us, man, never said anything but good things to us and encouraging us to do it, and even let us play with them, man. When you got to play drums and I played bass with the Bryant Brothers, I mean, we were done. I'd made it. I could quit right then, and I'd done everything I ever wanted to do,
Yep. Especially with the playing the drums. That's when you could have knocked me over with the feathers the first time they asked me to play drums with them. I'm like,
right.
Wait, really? Are you serious?
Yeah. The Bryant Brothers wants drums.
Yeah.
And you did a great job. And it was always great. We got to do that. But this particular song I picked out on the album they did back in the late 70s, it kind of at one point features all of them. I mean, Mr. Pat leads the verse and takes the lead line on a chorus, and it changes keys. Mr. Floyd does when it changes keys, and of course Mr. Irby, I think, sings one of the verses. So I really like this. Is one of the favorite ones, my favorite ones that they did. But it also, you can hear all three voices featured at one time. And of course, Mr. Ray Robertson, now he sang bass, and he just wasn't a Bryant, but he was the same way. He was so kind to us, and so encouraging to us, exactly the same way. But as far as this goes, I was just talking about the three that were actually brothers in that group. But let's hear the
well, before we do that, first I want to mention Mr. Burnett Skelton that played the piano.
Absolutely, yeah.
Add him to the list because he's the one that asked us to play every time when we did. And then when I was listening to these songs that you sent today, just, review and make sure everything was good. It's amazing to me that, usually when a local group, Weekend Warrior group, goes to record somewhere, the quality is not as good as, the professionals that's doing it with a recording contract and all that. I mean, that's just the way it is. But of these songs that we have on here tonight, granted, they're all local groups, Weekend Warriors, but it's amazing to me how good the quality is of this Bryant Brothers song. And it's far ahead of the other ones that we're doing now. The quality of the singing, is good on all of them, but just the quality of the recording. I mean, I just started playing that and listening to it, and I was like, gosh, it's amazing. Cause I'm sure it was recorded in what did we finally decide? 79, I think.
Yeah, late
You
70s.
know,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
it's the same year that the Colombians album we did a while ago, but
Right.
I don't know, what do you call it, an audio file or whatever, and you're much more of that with the record collection and all, but just listen how good the quality of the recording is on top of the phenomenal quality of the singing itself. Here's the Bryant Brothers. I need to hush and let them sing. There's a difference.
Some people go to church most every Sunday morning, for they believe there is a God above. They live the golden rule, their Bibles too are warm, their hearts are filled with brotherhood and love. But there's a difference, there's a difference, there's a difference, there's a difference. You can have religion, go to church and pray and still be lost in sin. For there's a difference, there's a difference, there's a difference, there's a difference. If you want to see heaven, if you want real joy, then you must be born again.
The Savior said one day, not everyone who speaks the name of God shall enter heaven's gate. You must be made anew, salvation you must see. Have faith in Him before it is too late.
For there's a difference,
There's a difference,
there's a difference,
there's a difference.
You can have religion, go to church and pray and still be lost in sin. For there's a difference,
There's a difference,
there's a difference,
there's a difference.
If you want to see heaven, if you want real joy, then you must be born again.
Oh, there's a difference,
There's a difference,
there's a difference,
there's a difference. You can have religion, go to church and pray and still be lost in sin.
Oh, there's a difference,
There's a difference,
there's a difference.
there's a difference. If you want to see heaven, if you want real joy, then you must be born again.
Class is dismissed. The Bryant Brothers showing you how it ought to be done. There's a difference here on the Champ
Yes.
Brothers broadcast this evening.
Indeed.
Are there any questions? Better not be. But that just blows me away. I mean, you
Yes.
pick out every part. I mean, the mix is as close to perfect as it gets. And
Right.
that amazes me that has stood the test of time. That's what,
And as was,
45 years ago. Is my math good on that? I don't know.
oh my,
Something like
let's just
that.
go right on past that. Yeah, good night. But and it was relayed to me that too, and I've always remembered this, that those men walked in that studio and every single song on that album, one take.
Yep.
There wasn't no stopping, there wasn't no redoing, there wasn't no changing. They stepped in there and every single song was one take and they were done.
Yeah. I mean,
And that
and
just amazes me.
when you do it the right way, you don't have to do it more than once. So.
That's right. That is right, for sure. The Bryant Brothers, man, oh man.
Well, let's go back to the Colombians, and another of our heroes, mentors, and friends that I get to sing with every time we Faithful Friends gets to go sing with. And I've said it before, and I don't mean it, in a bad way towards the other fellers that I sing with, but
Right.
I sing for the Lord first, an audience of one. But I sing for Ken Cook as 1A. As long as Ken Cook wants to go, I'm going. So
Right. I'm about that close to being jealous. So you get to sing with Ken Cook so much. So I'm trying to stay away from there, but I'm real close.
Yeah. And before we get to that, in the reminiscing, Boo checks in and says, "You guys don't know excitement. The Bama boys let me tote and help set up their music equipment." Did you know, have you seen it? There is a video floating around out there in the cyberspace world of Billy Shaw singing Turn Around.
I did see some of that. I sure did. Isn't that something?
Boy, Boo. If you're going to pick
snuck
one,
that
pick
one.
a good one like that. So.
Snuck that one in on us, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Singing a song our dad wrote. Yep.
But back to Ken on that same That Old Ship's Gonna Sail Again album was a song that he sung. And I asked him about this. When was it? It was one of the times that we had gotten together and was doing a lot of those old songs. And if I remember right, Ken said he didn't remember singing this song. Didn't I?
Really?
Didn't he tell us that?
I think so. It's one he didn't even remember. Yeah.
Yep. But he sung the fire out of it. Anything else you
did.
want to say, or you just want to get after it?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, Ken Cook has definitely been right up there among those that meant so much to us and that helped make the way for us to even be able to be, a part of the regional area of Southern gospel music. But yeah, let's let him just sing the fire out of I Saw the Man.
I have often wondered who could be so cruel to hang my Lord upon a rugged tree. And then I chanced to pass an old looking glass. There I saw the man staring back at me. I saw the eyes that turned aside. I saw the lips that sadly whispered, crucified. I saw the feet that walked in sin, and I saw the hands that drove the nails in him. I saw the man that crucified my Lord. Could ever wonder about the sacrifice he made, about the pain and the suffering he went through, then if you could chance to pass an old looking glass, won't that be some reflection on you? You'll see the eyes that turned aside. You'll see the lips that sadly whispered, crucified. You'll see the feet that walked in sin, and you'll see the hands that drove the nails in him. You'll see the man that crucified my Lord. I am that man that crucified my Lord.
The Colombians and I Saw the Man, featuring Ken Cook here on the Champion Brothers broadcast. I was sitting here thinking while I was listening to Ken sing that song today, I am 20 years older than Ken was when he recorded that song. Again, if the math's right, because that was in 79. He was born in 43. So he was 37 and I'm 57 now. And it's like,
oh my goodness.
No.
Wow.
Like, I need to find a recording of Time Has Made a Change in Me.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's some good stuff right there from Ken Cook. Philip Thornell said, Memories. Yes, sir. That was around the time we were singing with the Southerners when Philip was with them. And remember those days very well as well.
Yep.
Well, we're just talking about some of our heroes, mentors, and friends tonight here on the Champion Brothers broadcast. But also, we're wanting to tell you about our next concert that's coming up on July 27th. Take it away, Earl.
Yes, I have to be honest, I have to kind of pinch myself to be sure that it's real, that the Kingsman Quartet's coming to Fayette. And they are, the mighty Kingsman Quartet. on the 27th of July, that Saturday night. We'll start at 6, get the doors open by 5. It won't cost you to get in. We've already had calls. We monitor that number at the bottom for more information, and we've already had calls wanting to know about tickets, about getting tickets. And we said, well,
Yeah.
you don't have to have a ticket. Just come and be there. And I'm waiting for the time when we have one of these, when we have to say, I'm sorry, all the seats are full. You can't come in. And I mean, the Lord says keep doing them. We're going to keep doing them. And I think, well, one day it'll be like that. And it may be
Yeah.
the 27th. I don't know.
Could be.
But the Kingsman Quartet are coming. Faithful Friends and Chosen Witness, as we always have, will be a part. But then our buddy Bob Sellers, it couldn't be anything but the Lord put it on my heart strongly several weeks back. And you know what? You need to get Bob Sellers there that night. Bob sang for many years with the Kingsman Quartet, traveled with them, and he's in a full-time ministry now himself, solo singing. And I just said, I just wonder. And I went and looked at his schedule, and guess what? He wasn't obligated at that time for that Saturday night. And I said, yep, thank you, Lord. Yeah, you told me, so let's just go ahead and do it. And so yeah, we're going to have Bob there that night. We're not going to keep you all night. You know, I think for Chosen Witness, we'll probably do a reduced set from normal. And
we will too.
Give, okay, Faithful Friends and Chosen Witness will reduce it down a little bit, give Bob Sellers plenty of time, and you're going to enjoy it, I promise you. And the Kingsman Quartet, they got a good lineup. It's not your classic, all the memories of all the old live albums of the Kingsman Quartet anymore, because time does move on. But they have got a good lineup right now. Young guys full of energy. Well, there's young guys in Allen Kendall, but anyway, they're really full of energy, and
they're still doing a lot of those classic Kingsman songs too.
They are. You will definitely hear some of your Kingsman favorites that night. I promise you will, because they do. I mean, and they're still charting too. They're putting out great new music. They've had a recent #1 song on the Singing News chart. So I'm telling you, Kingsmen are going to burn it up that night in Fayette, Alabama. So y'all come and be with us. I can't stress enough how important it is for everybody that sees and hears us announce these to tell other people. Think of somebody that could be there. Think of somebody that you could just say, come on, and get in with you and bring them. And because that's the way the word gets out. We just, we're relying a lot on you to help us spread the word for all these events. And just let people know the Kingsmen are coming to town. Kingsmen is one of those groups that even if they don't even know anything about Southern gospel music, there's a good chance they've heard of the Kingsmen. Like they've probably heard of the Inspirations, and there's just some of those names, and that's who we got coming. And so we want you all to come and be a part. You will be blessed, no doubt about it.
Some more quick howdies, right quick. Shirley Weathers checked in. Jimmy Pons, our old pal from Millport. If you want to know anything about any of the genealogical history of Millport, Alabama, Jimmy Pons is your guy. He can flat sure tell you about it. And look at here, Neal. Danley Bryant checked in with us.
Oh, Danley, yeah.
His family, and he's a branch off of that same tree. And
that's right.
Always appreciate Danley and his support. Dana Hester checked in with us too. Always good to have y'all checking in with us, and we appreciate it so much. Well, let's go.
We get on,
go ahead.
Before we get on to one of the others, I got one other announcement, and we're not going to do this one justice because I don't have a graphic. I don't have text to put up. Yeah. So I'm relying on y'all listening to me, all right, and writing it down. And next week, I hope to have a graphic by then. But I want y'all to know about a singing in this area. It's going to be on Sunday night, July the 14th. So that's a week from this coming Sunday. It's going to be at Hannah Church in Gordo, Alabama. That's the church that hosts, brings us Christmas Comes Alive every year. Hannah Church there in Gordo. I am not certain of the start time. I believe 6 p.m. But if you want to come, be sure you check out and get the start time for sure. But some young guys from over in Mississippi are going to be there, a group called For the King. This is 4 young guys that's got a really good Southern Gospel Quartet going. Trenton Williamson is part of that group. Trenton sang for a couple of years, 3 years maybe, with the Dixie Echoes, sang tenor with the Dixie Echoes, and that's where we first met him actually. But mark that down, July 14th, Sunday night at Hannah Church. Go out and see For the King. I can promise you.
I just checked their website, and it says 6 o'clock on For the King's website. So
okay, there you go, 6 o'clock. Yes, so yeah, put that down. Tell some others to go, and because you will enjoy them. They actually did a like a matinee up at the Memphis Quartet show, which I have been there since we've done one of these and enjoyed yet again another year of the Memphis Quartet show. And they actually did one of the matinees there during it. So I got to hear them firsthand in person for the first time. And yeah, good group of guys for the King. Y'all need to go July 14th, that's Sunday night, to Hannah Church and see them.
Yep.
All right. Now back.
We could tell stories all night about this next gentleman. It's one of our heroes, mentors, and friends, Mr. Wayman Fields of the Fields family. And
that is right.
Talking about the folks that encouraged us. And when we were getting started in this back in the mid to late 70s, and he revived the FFA quartet and had Neal and me and his son Tim, and Matthew Myers was the first version of it. And then we had some member changes through the years, and then you graduated and kept it going for a little while longer. But and then Mr. Wayman taught a singing school and around that same time, around 77, 78, somewhere along in there, straight out of the Green Showalter book. And that's when we learned how to read shape notes and learned all about the shape note world, and started actually liking going to homecoming singings where they would sing out of those.
That's right.
What was it? The Stamps Baxter and the Jeffries and the Vaughn
and the
book.
Vaughn. Yeah.
I mean,
but
I
after going to that
couldn't stand
singing school, it made more sense.
Yeah.
To that singing school.
Yeah. It's like, why are they singing all these songs I don't know? And then we learned how to read it, and it's like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But Mr. Wayman definitely poured a lot into both Neal and me through the years, and always had a fine family group that we're going to play one from them now that that he's featured on, right? Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
And and he is married into the Bryant family. So his wife Gail is a Bryant and a sister to those Bryant brothers that we were talking about earlier. So you talking about doing it the right way, and you know, I don't know if they did it on their albums, but you could add them to the list that could have gone in there and done it one take and been done.
I'm sure. Yes.
But let's feature the Fields family now. Mr. Wayman taking the lead on one called Glory is Waiting.
I'm unworthy to stand in sweet glory. But I know there's a place in that city for me, a personal palace from the Savior's own hands now shines in great beauty for my eyes soon to see. Oh, what a meeting in heaven to be. What a glad moment to see. Make preparation for a happy celebration. Glory is waiting for me. Glory is waiting for me. All the angels are gathering and spreading their wings, waiting to greet me. They're preparing to sing. Precious loved ones are stirring around heaven's throne. They're longing for the day when God calls me home. Oh, what a meeting in
The Fields family and glory is waiting here on the Champion Brothers broadcast.
Yeah,
Good stuff. Doesn't get much
I,
better than that.
yeah, and I want to say that there was a little bit of wah wah going on in that recording because
Well,
the
when you're
only
getting it off a
recording
tape,
exactly all I had
yep,
was a very very old cassette tape, and that's as good a copy as I could get, a capture of that.
yep,
And the picture as well. I didn't have any good pictures that I could lay my hand on of them. And this is actually a clip from a VHS video from when
yep.
we had them at one of the Bama Boys specials one year. The picture we're showing, and so. But yeah, a lot of fond memories of Mr. Wayman and his whole family and us singing with them. And like you said, he definitely, poured a lot into you and I for sure.
And just to go back for just a second, that's Tim on the
Okay.
left, Lanita
Uh-huh.
Fields Shaw, next to Tim, and then Miss Gail and Mr. Wayman. And Marcia, their daughter, is playing the piano on that track, as far as I know, and was there, just like I say, which can't get everybody in the picture there. But yeah, that's some mighty fine stuff right there from the Fields family.
Indeed.
Well, let's see
So,
here. A couple more folks have checked in, or one more. Tessa Patton. Hey, Tessa. Appreciate you
oh
doing it.
yeah.
Stopping by and visiting with us tonight. Thank you so much.
Hmm.
And I always say, if you're watching us live, we'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button, or whether you do or don't, pretend like you do, or share it and help us get the word out about our concerts that we've got coming up, like the one on July 27th that we'll talk about a little bit more before we get out of here tonight. And the other concerts that we've got for the remainder of the year. Just
Hmm.
do your part to help us get the word out. We are so excited about these events that we have coming up. 2 more in Fayette, 1 more in Vernon to between now and the end of the year. And we'd love to see you at any and all of them. So come on,
That's
be
right.
with us.
Please.
Let's see here. We got one more song. Yeah, that's it.
We got one more. Yep. Yep. And yeah, this was another one that was there through all them years, when we were just getting cranked up in the Southern Gospel. And we got to hear stories from days gone by, about him and him and Ken and Cook, and our dad grew up, in the same era, going to the same high school, singing the FFA quartets and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it was good being around him. And I had the connection with this gentleman also because he volunteered with the high school football and was an
Mm-hmm.
assistant coach. And so I got to see him on the football side too. And let me tell you, that was a different Donald Mack than the Donald Mack that sang. But see, I knew both sides, and I actually liked them both. Yeah, we're talking about Donald McAdams, uh, that for many many years is part of the McAdams quartet that we were around with growing up there in Lamar County and singing. And yeah, Donald Mack. My first memory of the McAdams quartet. I've shared this on here before, but it was soon after our mom and dad had decided to move back home, move back to Millport where they grew up, and me and you were kids. I mean, I think you were in maybe about the
Third grade when we moved back to
third grade,
Millport. Yeah.
third grade, and yet I was in the sixth, and we moved back to Millport, and so we got to finish out all of our schooling days there. Then from that point on, but um, not long after we moved back, there was a Southern Gospel concert at the Millport High School auditorium,
Mm-hmm.
and the Florida Boys were there. They came to town. The Florida Boys. Now, at that time, we really didn't know that much about Southern Gospel music. I mean,
Yeah.
our dad had played, our dad sang, and all like that. He had played some, but at that point in life, it really hadn't clicked in mine and your heads as far as Southern Gospel and the style of music and what it meant and the history behind it. And but we went that night to that concert, Millport High School, to see the Florida Boys. But opening up that night was guess who? Well,
Mm-hmm.
the Bryant Brothers and the McAdams Quartet was
Yep.
opening up. And I can remember going away that night, but being there and just being in awe. But the ones that really clicked with me that night as a boy, in the sixth grade, which what was I, about 12 years old, maybe, probably not even a teenager yet. The McAdams Quartet. I told Daddy when we left, I said, I'd rather hear that McAdams quartet sing than the Florida Boys. I mean, they just lit my fire. I'm telling you, they did. And of course, the Bryant brothers too. But there was something about the McAdams that just caught my attention. And then, just a few years after that, who would know that we would actually get the opportunity to be a part of that regional Southern gospel music and get to know them a lot more and sing with them on the programs with them and all. But Donald Mack and all of the McAdams quartet, but I picked him out because of for myself because of that closer personal touch because of he was involved in the football, which I played football there at Millport and also the quartet. And I can remember. Can I share one more story?
Absolutely, sure. Do what you want to do.
After football practice one day, I don't remember the circumstances at all, but I was there and I needed a ride home or a ride to maybe our grandparents' house or something after football practice one day. And Donald Mack gave me a ride. And so me and Donald Mack was on the way for him to take me home. And I said something about because that was right at the time when the Colombians, as we had known them, been singing with that time, had stopped singing. Daddy had stopped singing with the Colombians, and he was starting the Bama Boys so that his boys, me and you, could sing and not just play because we wanted to sing. And I told Donald Mack that day. I said, Daddy's not singing with the Colombians anymore, but we're going to start a group ourselves, and me and Chris are going to sing. He said, well, you need to be singing, Neal. And that's all he said. He didn't go on, didn't say, didn't sound excited, didn't sound nothing. He just said, well, you need to be singing, Neal. And so I thought, okay. So he had heard us as the Junior Colombians, and of course in the FFA quartet, maybe not at that time. Well, in the football, the FFA quartet, Anyway. But that always stuck with me that Donald Mack even noticed and that he said that you need to be singing, Neal. So, and I mean, he only had one gear and that was wide open up and it would fly. That's every song that he sung. But this is one that off of the albums that I have that the McAdams did from back in the day. This is in '75. I think the album was called Great Day, but I think Donald Mack did a great job on this song called I Need Thy Help.
I need your help to guide me day by day, to lift me up when I can't stand alone, to guide my feet on my journey home. Just help me, Lord, to lean upon your promise and to take my hand to guide me on my way, to lift me up when I can't stand alone, to guide my feet
The Mac Adams Quartet and I Need Thy Help here on the Champion Brothers broadcast. We're putting a wrap on the musical portion of the program tonight. Good stuff.
So that album, as we're looking at it on the far left there, Mr. Harwood McAdams sang bass. Of course, Donald Mack sang, well, I don't know, him and Milford sang lead and baritone. I guess both of them did, but Donald Mack's next. And then Mr. John Moore sang the high tenor. Fourth one there, Milford McAdams, brother of Donald Mack. And then the piano player was Joe
Whitkey.
Yeah, I knew you'd bail me out of that one. But yeah, McAdams Quartet. What a great memory it is from our area that they were to us.
Yeah. Put that picture back up right quick.
I can do that.
I was wondering, is that the same yard where we took That Old Ship's Gonna Sail Again?
It might be. It might.
I've never thought about that before, but I don't know if we can put both of them up at the same. Well, we can't put them both at the same time, but
we can kind of flip between them. I mean,
maybe not. I don't know. I just thought
the bridge ain't in the picture, but it could have been the same area.
Yeah,
because that was not too far from where Donald Mack lives.
Yeah,
so, lived and still lives, I guess. But yeah, interesting.
Anyway, I just thought about that. I was like, well, a few years later, I was like, well, let's go outside and take a picture in front of the tree. So,
right. There you go.
But before we get out of here again tonight, we want to tell you about our next event that's coming up on July 27th, 3 weeks from this Saturday at the Fayette Civic Center right there in downtown Fayette, Alabama, right down the road from me right now. But our special guest will be the Kingsman, recently added and much appreciated Bob Sellers will be there that night as well. Chosen Witness and Faithful Friends will be singing a few as well, but most of the night will be the Kingsman and then Bob. And we're just going to have a big time. We want to see you there. Don't cost you anything to get in. It all starts at 6 o'clock. If you want to come in early, we'll open the doors up at 5. Easy entry. It's a little roundabout way. I started to say circuitous, but I couldn't sure if I could say that or not. But
I couldn't say that.
In and around and all that, but you can get into the auditorium without having to climb any stairs is what I was getting at. So you can get in there easily, and always just a wonderful venue, and hopefully it'll be comfortable enough for you. It'll probably still be hot outside, but we'll have it as cool as we can possibly get it inside without having you wrap it up, which somebody said something to me the other day. It's like, why in the world are you letting your facial hair grow out in the middle of summertime? And I was like, well, I'm that dummy that agrees to grow a face blanket in the sake of the art. So me and Eli's doing another play. He's got a much bigger role than I do in this one. I'm just kind of a background singer, but they said, well, you can either let your facial hair grow out or we're going to glue something to your face every night. I said, nope, I'll grow it.
Let it grow. Let it grow. Let it grow.
You ain't gluing anything to my face this time. I learned that lesson with Uncle Fester, but anyway. So.
Ooh.
So,
but back to the 27th of July.
Yes, I don't know where I went off on that rabbit.
But if you like a Southern gospel song, you appreciate Southern gospel, and you like a Southern gospel song, I can promise you Bob Sellers will light your fire. So I'm excited about him being there. Bob sang, of course, in the West Alabama area with Capstone Quartet for years. And I think both you and I at different times had opportunities to fill in with those guys to help them out when somebody was going to be away or whatever. And then of course, Bob then later sung for years with the Kingsman Quartet, traveled all over this country.
Right.
7, okay. I don't know if he ever went out of the country, but I know he sang all over this country, and probably at one point went out of the country with the mighty Kingsman Quartet. You believe that, Chris? The mighty Kingsman Quartet. It's going to be in Fayette, Alabama.
It's going to be good.
Along with Bob Sellers.
Yes. And Faithful Friends and Chosen Witness, too.
Oh, yeah. We'll show up, too. Yeah.
Yep.
Just so I can get the Kingsman, but yeah.
Yeah. So y'all put that on your calendar and come and be with us 3 weeks from this Saturday night. It'll be July 27th. We'll all kick it off at 6 o'clock, and we would love to see you there. No admission charge. We will give you an opportunity to contribute, and we would appreciate it if you did, so we can keep having these things. Won't cost you anything at all to come in, and we're not going to high pressure you. If you want to give something, fine. If you don't, fine. We just
That's right.
Get the word out the best way we can, and this is our idea of doing it and bringing these kind of Southern gospel singings back to the West Alabama area. So looking forward to it.
Indeed.
It's almost been an hour. I saw that list of songs. I was like, well, we'll be out for an hour tonight. Wrong.
Yeah, Neal got to telling stories and all that. So.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
I had said, "Hey, Mama." So
Oh, yeah.
watching.
Hey, Mama.
And hey, Mama-in-law and father-in-law, they're watching.
Yes, indeed. But let me just do another quick check, make sure I hadn't missed everybody. I think I've acknowledged everybody that's checked in with us tonight. So appreciate everybody stopping by. And like I say, if you're not watching us live, you're watching us later on, go ahead and make a comment. We do see them all. We do read them all. We do appreciate them all. So thank you so much for doing that and joining us. We're going to be on a little bit more regular schedule over the next few weeks as we get closer to July 27th. So good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. Put it on your calendar. We'll be here next Wednesday at 7. Is that right? Is that what have we even talked about that yet? But
I think so. That's what fits our schedule and it meshes it in there. So yeah, we'll do it then.
Come back and be with us. We may have much more good quartet singing. So
we will.
Slide it in there.
That's right.
All right. Anything else worth telling?
I think that's about it.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much for joining us, and we will see y'all, hopefully, Lord willing, 1 week from tonight at 7 o'clock. So y'all come and join us then. And I appreciate you tuning in. Come be with us on July 27th. Good night, everybody.